Alright, so Boruto Chapter 58 literally just dropped, and I got a couple of things to say about this chapter, mostly with how it went. But my honest opinion of this chapter was it was an okay chapter. It wasn't anything too spectacular. It was literally just one of those chapters where it was sort of just a training arc and a little bit more background information on what's going on in the story. But yeah, this chapter really just covered the training with Team 7 and the whole thing with the pills with Boruto. But pretty much the whole thing with Boruto is that him and Naruto are having a discussion or whether or not he should take the pills for his karma progression. Naruto's over there telling him about kind of the side effects and the risk and everything like that, and Boruto's just like, yo, I already thought about this, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the medicine, because I guess in Boruto's head he's kind of been prepared for this for a long time, and he's been thinking about, yo, if this does happen, then I'm ready to do whatever it takes. So Boruto's maturity has grown a lot from the very first chapter, very first episode, and you can kind of see just how mature he's grown over these past couple of chapters. So I like that he kind of just took the initiative to kind of go ahead and just do it. Naruto seemed really surprised that his son was already, able to make a decision like that quick. I do love the panel they put. I might put it on screen where Naruto was kind of surprised. I do like that little funny face that Naruto made. But yeah, so moving on to the main portion of this chapter is Kawaki and Boruto's training. So Kawaki and Boruto and the rest of Team 7 are pretty much training to fight Code and whoever else may show up when the time comes. Kawaki's kind of mad at Boruto for taking the pills, because they originally had this plan to where they're going to put it on Code, but man, in Boruto's defense, I kind of see where he's coming from. That isn't a 100% plan. That plan could fail. I don't even know how that could work in the first place. These two have two different plans that they kind of want to go for to save Boruto's life. My honest opinion, I feel like the medicine route is the safer route for Boruto. But this is getting Sarada very pissed, and I guess they're trying to do some sort of chakra control training, and Kawaki won't really shut up the whole time, so everyone's just getting mad at Kawaki, and Kawaki more so wants to go for a different approach. He was trained by Jigen, so he wants to go for a more hands-on experience, as you want to call it. He wants to straight up just start fighting and get into it, which honestly I actually like this approach better too. Kawaki has a point. It's more realistic, more battle sense, because they're really limited on time, right? You can do all the shinobi training, which isn't bad either, but I do like Kawaki's approach too. And for the first time, and I don't know how long, I didn't even know that he was still here, but Konohamaru has finally appeared. So y'all Konohamaru fans, y'all get to see your boy for like 2 seconds. But so Kawaki goes ahead and kind of implores his training method here, and he goes ahead and tries to attack Mitsuki, and he pretty much just wants to start the training session. And I get that Kawaki doesn't really want to sit here and try to control his chakras or whatever. At the same time, he does want to learn ninjutsu, like Boruto stated, and I guess he's gonna have to go with the more slowed down approach if he's actually gonna want to have a chance to fight Ko, because Kawaki's hand-to-hand abilities are quite good. I just think he needs the ninjutsu to cover his other bases. But they start fighting, and Sarada is pissed. Sarada is upset, and it's like she shoots this humongous fireball at Kawaki. Now Kawaki, he takes a trick right out of Naruto and Boruto's book. Everybody does this with the shadow clone jutsu, where they kind of go for the fake and they suddenly pop up behind you. But Kawaki's speed is amazing, because Sarada did not she didn't have the Sharingan out, so I can't act like she couldn't react, but was able to pop up behind Sarada and almost go for a strike. I thought he was going to try to kill her, but he was just like, nah, we're just sparring, I'm not going to try to kill her. Yeah, those two got into an altercation, and this is where we get the Boruto versus Kawaki fight. Now these two are fighting, and the winner of this fight pretty much gets to decide what kind of training method they're going to go for. So this is a karmaless Kawaki versus a karma Boruto. Now let me tell you something. When they said they're gonna 1v1, I did not know that Boruto was going to use his karma. I'm like, is that not cheating? Sarada didn't use her Sharingan. Like, come on now, come on Boruto, that's cheap. That's cheap. You can't just do that. You just know the man lost his karma like 2 seconds ago. I did not think he was gonna go like all out, you know? So they start fighting, they start exchanging blows pretty much. There's this one scene where Kawaki goes ahead and does his little blast he does from his hand, and this is where, like I said before, Boruto activates his karma mark, and Boruto's getting a lot better at activating the karma. Seems like he has a pretty good control of it, because that was pretty instantaneous. Boruto has a good grasp on how to actually control his karma now, so we're kind of seeing his progression in regards to that training. So Boruto kind of returns the favor and throws something back at him, and this is where Kawaki like instinctively goes for his karma to try to absorb it. Now this kind of just shows that Kawaki is so dependent on the karma. He's had it his whole entire life, right? It's just like, it's hard for him to sort of adapt to this new change. He's been training with it since he was a child, so you can't really just take something away from that. Like, you can't really just take something away from somebody like that and just expect them to sort of adapt. Like they've sort of been used to it their whole life. That's kind of his instinct is, I see a blast, I absorb, right? It's just kind of ingrained into his head. So I don't think, you know, those old habits are going to die. So I'm kind of wondering if how Kawaki's gonna overcome this in the future, not having the karma, since he's kind of like instinctively is just used to it. But it's really interesting how they've included that into the fight. But man, Kawaki is sort of down because he kind of says that this is not enough to protect Lord 7th. And if we think about the first fight that happened, Boruto versus Kawaki, episode 1, chapter 1, man, I'm starting to think that Boruto is not the bad guy and Kawaki's not the bad guy. I honestly think that Kawaki and Boruto, maybe not bad guys, not a good way to put it, but I don't think they're necessarily fighting to kill. Maybe, I don't know, because the way they're kind of describing Kawaki as he's, you know, he's trying to protect the 7th doesn't actually like sort of write him in as like a character that's going to turn evil in the future. I don't know, man. I just can't see it as of now, for him to have such a huge change in his character, for him to go from this guy that wants to protect the 7th Hokage to somebody who wants to kill him in the, you know, next minute. But I think that Kawaki's going to have to do something to where he's going to have to get his karma back, because he feels powerless, and he knows that without the karma he's not going to be able to do what he wants to do and protect the 7th Hokage. So yeah, definitely a weird power dynamic going here. But yeah, I can definitely see Kawaki doing something to get his karma back. I have a couple of videos already theorizing some things that I think is going to happen with that, so I'm not going to cover them all here. Yeah, I think Kawaki is going to do something involving that. So pretty much, I guess where we're leaving off now is just they're going to go off and go train for the rest of this arc. It's going to be, I guess it's going to be a training arc for 2 chapters, to be honest, where they kind of cliffhangered us off at. I'm not like too excited for the next chapter, but I kind of understand the direction they're going for. It definitely seems like we're getting towards some sort of time skip relatively soon. Yeah, I don't know entirely. So yeah, chapter was okay, like I said before. Just a lot of training, little slight things here and there. That last chapter was definitely there to kind of build up the villains of the arc with Code and Ada, and now we're kind of getting the training arcs to kind of build up how they're going to combat these new villains. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the chapter. Did you guys like the chapter? Do you guys feel like this chapter is a little bit too slow this time? It is a training chapter, so kind of what I expected. Not really sure what manga discussions, you know, we're gonna do for this month. There's not too much to grasp from this, but I'll see what I can do. Got a lot of new content coming out for next month and this month. Already got a whole bunch of stuff recorded. So yeah, I got a new series I'm planning on starting hopefully by June. So yeah, all that stuff coming. So yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord, and I will see you guys later. Peace.